When the masses don't gain from it. Oh yes, it's a fresh new day. Tuesday, the 18th day of the 7th month, year 2017. This is about quarter past the hour of 9. And yes, we're about 16 minutes after really. Past the hour of 9, and this is time for another fresh edition of the Citizens Forum on Rock City 101.9 FM here in the city of Abeokuta. Yes, and indeed, we are the voice of the people. Dele Ayodo is my name.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu saying good morning and welcome to Citizens Forum.
Alright, yes, Citizens Forum this morning. No doubt we are still battling with what to do, how to fight that monster we call corruption in our society. Each day that comes is a different story on corruption cases and different suggestions on how to deal or tackle those different corruption issues. The temple of justice, which people believe strongly, and that's what they should really be the epitaph, the end point where to go and get justice. Not just getting justice, get it as easily, as quickly as it can. It's no doubt being the one being whipped by the different groups of people who wants this war against corruption to be fought as comfortably and conveniently as it can. Just a few days ago, the head of that arm of government, I'm talking about the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, also came out descending strongly on lawyers, this time senior lawyers. Yes, senior lawyers, that is the senior advocate ranks, the one we call SAN. The Chief Justice postulated that he's actually not happy about the way they handle cases. He just shortly fell short of asking them not to take all cases brought to them. He said there are cases in which they are not expected to dabble into, and there are some cases they complicate themselves by their posturing on the judges, and they're trying to wield their influence, their might on the judges themselves. Of course, if you remember the raids inside the judiciary and the different allegations the EFCC, ICPC have leveled against our judges, you also want to agree. Even if we are not there, there is no conviction, there is no judgment, there is no ruling, you may want to say, but once the Yoruba say, once the drum is being beaten consistently, that means there is a message in it and somebody is dancing to it. Or simply you will say there is no smoke without fire. We are going to look at the rot within the temple of justice this morning. Well, we talk about restructuring. If restructuring is coming, how will it get into this arm of government? And of course, how do you get justice dispensed conveniently, comfortably, and easily? That's what we will be looking at on the topic this morning. Chienye, you have a few words?
All right, well, you have said it all. That's what we'll be looking at this morning, the rots in the judiciary. We're going to look at the frivolous court injunctions that are issued by judges. And then we'll also look at the delay in dispensation of criminal and corrupt cases. And then the statement by the CJN, which accused the sons of impunity to discipline their stomachs, and then rather than promote impunity and heat up the polity. We'll also look at judges being bribed, and then we'll also look at immorality in the judiciary. All this we'll get to touch on this morning.
Okay, and of course we have with us an elder statesman, a jurist, Justice Ademola Bakare, MFR? OON. Okay, yes, I missed that. Justice Ademola Bakare, OON. Good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Now, this statement from the CGN, like I mentioned earlier, just merely falls short of saying it's not all cases some lawyers should take. And this appears or will appear to tally with the opinion of those who are not learned men. if you find a case of somebody, a known criminal, for instance, should lawyers even take such cases again? Are they not encouraging this kind of crimes?
Well, I do not go all the way with the CJN because law and morals are two intersecting circles. They have their exclusive areas and they have their common areas. You ask yourself, issue of morals, where does it stop? Where does it conflict with the law? The law purely is a technical issue, and it has to judge even the morals to morals. So morality and law are very close and very difficult to distinguish. But we all know what is wrong, we all know what is right. The limit is everybody's problem. And when you say that lawyers should not take certain cases, I think we are overstepping the bounds of freedom. Because they say it is better for 99% of guilty people to get away than for 1% of innocent people to be punished. That is the doctrine of the law. And there are some cases where the facts are not all on the table from the outside. So only when you get to now the eyes see this is the issue. Also at the same time, they say order is the first law in heaven and everything is done by order. Law is to create order. So when there is a law and there is a breach of it, the event does not stop there. You're now going to trial. Rules have been laid down, procedure have been laid down how to try a matter. If you go wrong, then you falter. It goes out, it's thrown out. And of course, it has to be resolved in favor of the accused person.
When you say morals or law is a technical thing, so it should be looked at simply as technical and moral. Let's look at a scenario. I'm sure you remember that I think between 79 and 83, we once had a senior advocate who at a point will defend party A, and some months after is the same lawyer who is also working for party B. Will you say this is a technical? In other words, we have so many of such things happening. The lawyer is taking a case from, say,
I understand you.
So
that's what we are saying about law and morals. You see, moral is a matter of self-control. Law is the situation that has been laid down. This is the procedure. This is what the law says. And everybody's right has to be defended. And you're going to prove your case beyond all reasonable doubts against an accused person. Beyond all reasonable doubts. If it's a civil matter between one and the other, they say on the balance of probability. We're not saying the man, it's not saying beyond all doubts, so it's saying beyond all reasonable doubts. Where there's any doubt, it has to be resolved in favor of the accused person. That's where I won't blame a counsel because he's exercising his legal right to defend and to prosecute. So that does not mean anything at all. That's when the issue of morals comes in there. I've been in this matter. I don't want to be on this side. That's morals.
Okay, you talked about punishments earlier on. Why are high-profile cases and well-celebrated corruption cases, they are never given the adequate attention or allowed to experience the full wrath of the law? Because such cases most times are usually handled with kid gloves.
You will observe what I said. When you go to court, the judge remains a human being. His feelings to the particular issue, to the particular person, cannot be completely ruled out. Some are very sentimental. Some people are cute in their nature. They look at issues positively. But not everybody is like that. And you cannot never see the heart of any man. You can only imagine what type of person he is. Some people change after appointment. Some people remain themselves all their lives. I remember one of my bosses when I was on the bench would tell them, Where is that case? Oh, the one Justice Ademola Bakare. Has he started it? It's going to be difficult because he knew that I will stand my ground. No CJ will tell me how to go. You cannot come and talk about an issue before me. I will ask you, will you like to take the case back and do it yourself? Because as far as I'm concerned, but I am an individual, and everybody remains individual. No matter what place you put him, his person will come into show. You can't rule that out.
Will you agree or disagree with those who believe or who are saying that the length, the period in which justice is dispensed to people, it's wrong? It can be reduced.
That's the way anybody will look at it. But let us break the issue down. There is procedure for every matter. And one counsel is in 3 cases, 3 different courts. And there's a senior counsel, even a junior counsel. And he writes to court B, I'm in court A. When I finish here, I will come and join you. If it does not finish here in time, court B cannot order A to stop further action. That's where this conflict is human. But people see that.
Sorry, sir. I think what we have, we normally have what they call the lead counsel, and there are close to 5-6 other lawyers supporting him. If the lead counsel, for one reason or the other, is not able to appear in that case, what stops the others? Let's look at the case of the former governor here in the state, who's been on trial since 2011. And as we speak, the case is still with the prosecution. The defense has not started bringing that. So what is the excuse, the rationale behind that?
That's the point I'm making to you. A counsel may decide, I want to handle this case myself. Your client has said, Baba, I want you to handle this case for me, yourself. I don't want any junior counsel. And I'll give you my personal example. When I was in Justice Babalaki as a young counsel, I went to court and my matter had not come up. I was talking with my friend. Now Justice Chienye, we were together in practice. And they called my case. I'm sorry, my lord. I stood up. Before I got to chambers, he had gone to see my senior and said, Ninsi, that was one day. The same case. I went before Justice, I think okay this time, and the motion came up. I argued it brilliantly. He did not know that the same counsel that was there that is talking about now. He went to my boss and said, the same person. So that the way people look at things are different altogether. I have sympathy for counsel, not because I was in practice myself, but I know that people do not know the implications or the details in legal practice. There's what they call procedure. If a lawyer comes to you, I want an adjournment, and you say no, I must go on, and they say I'm in another court, what do? He will write a petition. This NJC will say, you didn't give him an opportunity to be heard, and they say Audi or Tarem party. The other side must be heard. Say, he has not been heard. You give a judgment. You've adjourned 5 times. The public will blame you for adjourning 5 times. He has not been coming. Where do? You see, look at the issue is that people do not understand the detailed working of the judiciary. That's why every day, you can be wrong. You are a human being. But not every time that one wants to be corrupt or one is corrupted. But people say, want to go ni. Everybody want to go. What do you see?
With due respect, sir.
Yes.
So far, you have sounded as if you are ready to defend the judiciary.
Naturally.
Fine. Naturally. That's your concern. So, if there is a suggestion, or if you are asked to come and send memorandum as it has to do with how to restructure, because people are complaining now, how to restructure the judiciary. You say there's nothing to restructure.
There's a lot to be changed.
So what
the procedure has to be looked out. Undue privilege. It should be hard. There are times when you act justly and they go to the higher court. Yes, you have not done. Sometimes the judges you could be annoyed when they rule against your judgment. You were the one sitting there. You saw the situation. A council, very senior council, came to meet me in my house when I was in Ota to give me money. Later, they made him a senior advocate. I was ashamed. And these are the people who are there. Except we, all of us, are prepared to change our attitude. Things will always go wrong. Judges remain human beings. They have classmates, they have friends, they have relations, they have colleagues. There's nobody who's unapproachable except God.
But years back, judges, to somebody like me, growing up as a teenager, early 20s, 30s, judges appear to be like gods, not to be approached by anybody. Suddenly, all those has disappeared. What do you think? What happened?
They are still gods in their own way. It depends upon the individual. If you drive everybody away, you will even drive away the good one. It is they are coming to murder you and drive everybody away. Who will inform you? Who will save you? That's why you have to be extremely careful. You are still, as a late Judge Oputa said, we all were nurtured in this country. We had relations, we are playmates, we are friends. If you shut yourself against everybody, they say you are very arrogant. What do? You are between the devil and the saint. Nobody supports you. I agree with you. In those days, you cannot go into judges' quarters. How many of them were Africans? Most of them were colonial judges. And what's my business with a white man? But, you know, Justice Bakare, oh, Baba, I said, don't come. What would you say? I don't know what you're coming to say. I can't shut you out like that because of our own custom. Our system of living is different from the European system or the English system. Let me say, they are different. They live in isolation. We live in congregation. You must realize this. And that's why I said everybody is an individual, whether it's a judge or not a judge. When he becomes a judge, he makes up his mind what to do and what not to do. When I was introduced to the bar and the bench, there were three of us. Among the three of us, I knew I was the only extrovert. And I told the judiciary, I told the congregation, I will remain an extrovert, but I will keep my head. I will not do anything that will tarnish the image of the judiciary. And thank God, for 11 years I was there. Nobody can say that I did something improper about the judiciary.
Okay, but in all honesty, can you hear me?
Yes.
In all honesty,
yes.
Should sentiments come to play?
Sentiment. Is it human or not? When you're talking of sentiment, it depends upon the individual. That's what I'm saying. You have to look at the individual. Most of us cannot cut away our sentimental feelings to issues. Most people can, but those who cannot, how do you know them? We are all individuals.
Okay, let's look at this other issue, how punishments are meted out, because most times you find out that when a man steals a phone, most times 20 years imprisonment, 15 years imprisonment with hard labor, you find out that punishments are usually too insignificant when compared to the weight of the crime that is committed.
It depends on the provision of the law. If it says manslaughter, life imprisonment, you can decide to give him 5 years. The law prescribes the maximum, not the minimum. It depends upon the circumstances. There are times when you'll be sorry. I handled the case when I was a counsel where my witness was weeping in the box because his mother went to stay with him for a few months to help them nurse their little child, and they were coming back from his station. They were taking the mother home. The Chienye got logged. They had an accident. The mother died. Double jeopardy. Such a person, and the offense is proved, what do? You are a human being. There's run through your veins. There's water in your veins. You can, in the circumstance, most people will even weep. So that at times you forget that judges remain human beings. They remain their parents' children, no matter how well placed they are. They do their best to be objective, but objectivity and humanity have to be considered anytime we are taking a decision about them. They remain human beings forever. And God knew this when He created human beings.
Today, as things stands, we have not less than a dozen of judges who have been accused, who are being tried of corruption cases, receiving money even as paltry as 50, 100,000. Almost similar number of lawyers are also being accused, being tried for a similar thing. Is this part of the customs and sentiment that you are talking about?
No, no. You look at this. Jesus Christ had 12 disciples. Judas Iscariot was the only one that committed that offense amongst them. What percentage is that? 1 upon 12 times 100. What do you get? So when you look at the country, the lawyers, the judges are all people from different backgrounds. And you cannot change any person from what he is. Some people will appear innocent in the face, but they are devils incarnate. Only God can absolutely correct things. I'm not saying that there's no corruption, and I'm not saying that it should be the order of the day. But then you look at the percentage. There are over almost 90,000 judges, lawyers in this country today. Maybe about 10, 12 are misbehaving. Look at their background, where they come from. With all due respect, a policeman went to read law, he became a lawyer. He's been taken back before he became a lawyer. How do you change him? And you can't stop anybody from reading law if he wants to read law and if he has the brain. So that, you see, when we are talking in a wholesale manner, we must consider the circumstances of this country, the background of the individual, his own general tendency. I tell people, when I became a judge, I stopped buying colored dresses so they would not know how many I have because I had no money. So I was always in white dresses. So almost 30 years now, that has been my style. And because I want to be moderate, I want to be modest. Before I became a judge, I was never spraying. Go and spray. If you have your christening your child, if I come there, if it's 5,000 I have, I'll give you. If it's 2 I have, I will give you. It depends upon the occasion. But some people want to show off. They are different human beings. They are different from me. I cannot myself the style of everybody.
The difference is that the impact of this behavior we are talking about outweighs what the impact will be if they are not judges. If a policeman who is meant to protect this, let's say this fish or products, is found to be the one stealing it, we all know that the moral weight, the sentiment, and other issues around it will not be as much as if it's a thief that comes to steal those produce. That's what we are talking about.
I agree with you entirely. The point I'm making is that if you have 30 judges in one state and one of them is bad, the judiciary is said to be bad. Those that are good are not considered. Who said it? He said, when I am right, nobody sees it. When I am wrong, everybody sees it. You see, we should not crucify the judiciary en bloc. There are some that, when I look at some people that I know that they've not been decent in their procedure, I just laugh when they talk. Because I know that if you are a judge, you are appointed a judge, you have decided to go into a dedicated position where your character, your behavior, your movements have to be reduced. But some people do not know that. And because he's brilliant, that's the angle from those who will recommend him will see. They do not know his innate behavior, how greedy he could be. Greed is the base of all these things. I worked for 46 years. I have only one house. And it's too big for my family because they are all grown. My wife has gone to her son. So, got 6 rooms in my house, alone. Houseboy, night watchman, driver. Those are the ones I have with me. You see, and I'm contented. The problem is lack of contentment in some people. I do not look at nobody writing 10 cars. I have 2 cars because if one breaks, I have another one. I don't need 4 cars.
Let's look at the influence of politics and democracy in the justice of temple within the judiciary now. It appears that this never happened before. The current CGN, when his appointment was to be confirmed, we saw the stories where politics, ethnicity came into it, which opens some hidden things to those of us who are away from it that thought it is usually by what we call seniority or merit. That means you also have to consider this thing. You also have to consider which political lineage you are with, where is your ethnic background, and all these things. How and why did we permit this to come into the judiciary, particularly now the apex court?
It's because some of us are still very mean, and that is individual. I always tell people to look at issues objectively, not subjectively. But some people get unreasonably subjective when it comes to taking a decision. You look at this man is number 2, number 1 is going away. Automatically, he should move there because he's been considered to be a good man. That's why he was able to rise to that level. It's not at the point of his coming to the head and saying, he's from Sokoto, he's from Kaduna. That shouldn't come in at all. Unfortunately, most people who are affected, concerned in this country, are not matured. As I told one elderly person recently, our problem is that we are not civilized. We are very primitive, including me. We look at issues in a different way altogether. That's a civilized man will look at it. Although we claim to be civilized in many areas, our upbringings are different. Then Western civilization has affected some people adversely, some people positively. And if you remember that even in England, judges were killed, policemen were killed. Some people were cut short in their life because of their belief, because of standing by the truth. Some are bound to suffer that way. And I always tell people that our God is not like human beings. He's very magnanimous. He was able to pardon Cain. Then what have I done that I will not be pardoned? Because human beings are judging you, is the one that is wrong in you that they see. When you are right, nobody bothers about it. And we should also give other man a chance. Let him be heard. Why did he behave this way? So people have misbehaved that once they will never do that again in their life. You will never misbehave that way again because God has turned him away from that evil act of his. But we judge generally. Judiciary, judiciary, they're very corrupt. It hurts me. When I hear it, it makes me to feel sick. So people took up the judgeship because they want to perform. They want to excel. I always tell my son, don't argue with lawyers. Listen to them. They will annoy you. Some will talk to you in a rude manner because they know you are my son. We know his father. That's not an issue. You are the judge there. Say, but just keep your head. So the problem we have is that in this area, in this part of the world, we are just different beings altogether. And as a friend said, God created the black man, the white man, and the Nigerian. We're just different.
Okay, Femi Falana once said that he blamed the Nigerian Bar Association for failing in the statutory responsibility of exposing corruption in the legal profession. Do you agree with this?
To a great extent. You see, because you don't bribe is bilateral. The giver and the receiver. If there's no giver, there will be no receiver. If your case is bad, you want the judge to say it's good, then you go and bribe him. Who is guilty? Is it the man you went to? If he himself has no spine, you can dissuade him. There are times when senior lawyers bring their weight into the court, and I just ignore them. What is important to me is what does the law say? Whether you are a senior advocate or international advocate doesn't matter to me. What does the law say? These facts before me, does the law support you? That's the way I will look at it. But everybody is not Bakare, and we cannot be. Even twins are different. That's why there's no way we can stamp out corruption absolutely. Absolutism in this world has been proved to be impossible. But we'll make effort to plead, to preach, to train, to convert bad people to good. That's the effort we can make and reduce the rate of corruption. Corruption is inborn, it's natural, and even partiality is corruption. Sometimes you are a human being, just two human beings just prefer one to the other for no reason.
Do we have a reasonable level of impartiality in our judiciary in the country?
Are you talking of Ogun State or in the country?
In the country now.
Let me speak of Ogun State first.
State, okay.
If you are talking of impartiality, I think I could say that we are almost 100%. We're a bit less in Ogun State. Okay. And taking the West first, Lagos is dangerous because it's very cosmopolitan. Anything can happen in Lagos. So you cannot make Lagos a standard. But the other states, because they are smaller, the people are known, it is less. The problem in Lagos is that you cannot even place Lagos. It's like talking of New York. The things that happen there are unbelievable. And it's only God that can help us to take Lagos out of the mess in which it is.
Okay, sir, let's look at interlocutory injunctions. Do judges have the right to call for this each time when they are called for questioning? Do they have the right?
Interlocutory injunctions,
yes,
is provided by the law, and a judge is going to use his discretion. For example, I have always refused when I was in Ota in particular. The case is coming up on Friday. They will rush in on Thursday evening or Thursday morning to come and ask for an injunction. I will refuse. And I always say that if any decision is improperly taken, it will be properly resolved in future. So that was my own doctrine. But not everybody is Bakare, and I cannot make anybody myself. The way I see things is a bit different. Some people fear their matters being thrown out on appeal. It does not matter. I'm taking my own decision the way I see it. Let the court of appeal say what they like. They won't flog me. But not everybody is like that. Hey, what would they say? Well, let them say anything. It does not matter to me at all. And that's what you should be with any judge. But if you appoint a person who is spineless as a judge, of course he will give spineless decisions. You need to spine to be able to take decision and stand by it. Okay. But not everybody has that stature.
Okay, why is it difficult to fight corruption?
Why it is difficult? Because we are human beings and we are Nigerians.
Okay, one of the reasons that someone has given why it's difficult to adequately fight corruption in Nigeria is that the system of justice, even at the best of time, is protracted. Do you agree with this?
Yes, the present system, I think it could be curtailed. We could shorten the time we are spending because of the indulgence. Because the law says you must hear the other side. If it does not come, you cannot go on. And it does not come. What do you do?
When there are signs that the other side is deliberately using legal tactics to delay the case, why can't they just take a firm decision on
you have answered it. When there are signs that the fellow is behaving deliberately, how do you decipher this? I tell you that the people you are talking about are human beings. A judge is coming from Ijebode to Ota. He does not know this lawyer, does not do anything. The man has written to the other judge 3 times. Only will say that if you don't come next time, I'll go on with this matter. Even when you do that and you go on, he goes on appeal. They say you're not giving me a hearing.
Okay, let's go back to the issue of restructuring.
Yes.
Or the need to restructure the judiciary now, which is your own constituency.
Yes.
We have the industrial court.
Yes.
Which handles labor and industrial matters. Why can't we have, of course we have magistrate, the magistrate court which also have its own jurisdictions on issues and that. Why can't you have special courts for corruption and then maybe special court for violent cases to smoothen and fast track delivery of judgment? Can
we start first by defining corruption? Corruption is very wide.
Well, economic. Let me use economic and financial crime.
That will be industrial.
Yes, economic and financial
economic
crime.
and financial crime. We are all saying the same thing. They have the judicial divisions in some states. They have divisions like Lagos. They have divorce division. They have litigation. They have housing rent. See, you can have it. It's purely administrative. But I think it's better for the judges to be versatile, to handle all these matters at that level, because when they get to the Court of Appeal, there will be no separation. There's no need. It depends upon the judge how he organizes his court. And the law does not say that a judge has to be guided by the CJ. The CJ has no control over you. It's purely, you can transfer you. That's what they can do. Discipline you, it depends upon the facts. You cannot do it alone.
But when you say it depends on the judge, in fairness, like you've maintained, these people are human beings, they are Nigerians. A judge looking for an adjournment, or a counsel asks for an adjournment, the judge opens his diary and searches through. The next 6 months, there's no space to fit the case, and he fixes it for about 7, 8 months or 6 months for next hearing. There are over 200 qualified lawyers. Why do we continue to pressurize these judges and overload them with files?
With all due respect to you, if a matter comes before you as a counsel, you have to study the file and know your approach to it. And the approach of two counsel cannot be the same to the issue. There are times when, like adored late Rotimi Williams, he goes for technical points to win this case. There are some people who are moralists. He was not. He wants to win technically. And the law has created room for technicality. And so that there are times when we say, and I think I enjoy technicality, because that is showing how good you are, how sound you are, how much you've read the laws. So that when at times I had a case, when I put in my client, I felt sorry. I was young in practice. If I had addressed the court on no case of mission, I could have got away. But I put my client in the box and he was jailed. I didn't forgive myself till today. This is almost 50 years ago now. So that there are times when outsiders look at the judiciary as a den of devils. It is not so. I'm not defending that constituency. There are times when some people are patently wrong. Some judges are corrupt. There's no doubt about that. But they are very far in between. Unfortunately, when you made a genuine mistake, you are doomed corrupt.
Okay, quickly, let's look at the new judicial reform by the CJN to clear the rots in the judicial system. Is it going to see the light of the day?
I'm happy you said system, not in the judiciary, in the judicial system. The system is there, created by law. You see, when you make a new law, a new procedure, the lawyers exploit the mistakes in the law, and this is natural. Look, take our constitution. If you read, by the time you go to chapter 6 from chapter 1, you're going to see some contradictions. Lawyers cash in on that. And that is the profession. You must show your prowess, be able to cash in on the errors or omissions of the other people. There are times when you cannot rule out technicalities. You see, issues in this life, like football, in the offside tactics, some people can beat it. I was a very fast runner, so I could stay outside the penalty offside area, and when the ball goes in, I dashed in there and beat the penalty rules. This is a matter of the world. A wise person will always thrive. Where we're right or wrong, only that will be left for Almighty God. In this world, there are bound to be mistakes, there are bound to be omissions, and to be corrected absolutely is just impossible. We will be there, they'll sing with us.
Alright, yes sir, if you check your time, you realize that we are approaching 10 o'clock and we have to take a break to allow the national news to come at 10. After that, we'll still have with us Justice Ademola Bakare, OON, at the other side of the news, who will now be getting his opinion on what he thinks about the ongoing constitution review and then the need the style of appointing people into the bench. Don't go anywhere. That's what we are trying to clear. Those what appears to be like the fire anywhere. Let's clear them. You welcome back. Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM in the city of Abeokuta. Citizens Forum this morning, looking at the judiciary, and we have one of their own here with us, Justice Ademola Bakare, OON, looking at issues around judges and their operations, lawyers and their operations. Justice Bakare, let's look at the Constitution review. We've had what we call 1999 amended, and another one is going on as we speak. What's your opinion about this process? Are they extensive enough to handle those loopholes and lacunas we talked about?
You will have to pardon my extremism. I'm an extremist. I'm very radical in this issue of the Constitution. I've said it in many papers. The 79 Constitution, the 99 Constitution as amended in 2004 are all monsters, documentary monsters. They're not good for Africa. They're not good for Nigeria. And it's very easy to manipulate. As far as I'm concerned, it's not amendment, it's overhauling that we need.
Well, what do you mean by overhauling? You are calling for a rewrite.
For example, I'm not a believer in presidential system. We're not mature enough for it. We're wasting money. You look at in the parliamentary system, you all contest the election, go to the house. It's from that group that will elect the cabinet members. We don't pay twice.
But some people say that is because that is what people like you grew up to meet and know.
What do you mean?
The parliamentary system.
Yes.
So that's why you still favor it.
It will work.
Presidential is more democratic.
What is democratic in it? When the commission, the government is going to select people from outside who have not contested, who are not even politicians. It's undemocratic. Most undemocratic. As far as I'm concerned, we were nurtured in the parliamentary system. Therefore, our children have grown up in it. You now transform them. And it's very difficult to change human beings. Very difficult to change human beings. You now say presidential system, winner takes all. As far as I'm concerned, and I will say it until I die, that Nigeria has made a mistake by accepting that 49 wise men's decision in 1979 to go to presidential system. It's an unfortunate decision. Because, you see, you have to look at the circumstances in which you operate. I always tell people, we are primitive. Presidential system is made of people who are civilized. Look at how many years it took America to get to that level. We had almost parliamentary system from 1861 to 1960. 63, we went Republican. 66, the army took over. So we only have practiced this thing for 6 years. 6 years. It's not good after 100 years. You see, as far as I'm concerned, and I will remain that position, I may appear silly or unreasonable, but I think the parliamentary system gives more people right of participation than the presidential.
But are we then not at a crossroad, considering the fact that the only body, legal body that can rewrite this constitution, that can change it into what we are talking are those who are benefiting from the current presidential system?
That's unfortunate. And that's why I said about our level of civilization. In the house, issues can come up and you look at it dispassionately, not what does it benefit me. But because of poverty, because of primitiveness, it's difficult for us to see matters objectively. That's why presidential system may not be bad, but a situation where people are able to appoint their friends, their relations into offices, let them go and face the public. Although I'm a minority on this issue, because when things benefit people, they don't see it objectively. I'm out of it. The parliamentary system, I was a young man, we debated it. You have freedom of speech. In this one, the leader of the party takes a decision. You are nobody. They won't listen to you. And it is at party level that decisions should be taken. Is it the position until today? Is the party strong? The political parties are just there. They're not the one taking dictating pace. I'm talking for myself. And I want us to look at it objectively. Today, if you go into plebiscite, people don't know anything about the parliamentary system. So they'll vote for presidential system, good or bad.
All right, let's switch.
Okay, Dele, before then, let him quickly touch on the style of appointing people to the bench.
The manner in which people become judges today.
Yes, you can never have a perfect situation. And you have what you call the Judicial Council in the state, AJC. You see, they are the one that do the appointment, they do the recommendation. And as I said, there is no perfect situation. There are so many considerations outside what is legal that you look at and say that. For example, take the issue in Osun now. Ademola Bakare won the election because of the death of his brother. That is sentiment, and you cannot rule it out. In Nigeria today, okay, my son's name came up to be appointed the judge because of me. That will influence many people. Oh, Ademola. He's good in his own right, in his own merit. And sometimes he tells them, don't refer to him as my father. I'm in my own right. It's right, it's true. But my name has influenced his position. That is natural. And I always tell people that the thief on the right hand of Jesus Christ was pardoned because of Jesus Christ. Nepotism is a thing of the world. It has been there all the time.
Alright, so let's switch the microphone to your end. Let's get questions, comments, if there are any, or opinion you wish to express.
Ola Anima Sawu is the name, calling from Abeokuta. Morning, Baba. And my felicitation with you on your birthday.
Thank you very much.
Days or hours ago. Straight to the point, sir. I highly appreciate this information. I have two concerns. The one on the parliamentary stroke, the presidential system. From what you have analyzed on the judiciary, not really the system of the judiciary, but the practitioner that could be faulted in your constituency from your analysis. Presidential system of government is not only practiced in Nigeria, but there seems to be a peculiarity, like you talked about the Nigerian peculiarity in a special race in your analysis. Will you not agree with me, sir, that it's the practitioners and not the system that we are practicing? That what we have to revert back to the cabinet system says that the same set of practitioners will still corrupt the system in quotes, subvert it to their advantage to the extent that we will still be calling for another system. I think we should do so starting and look at ourselves rather than the system per se. That's number one. Number two, sir, this idea from the judges, this proclamation of a status quo, I'm still disturbed by it. It appears lawyers have found a way around it. Is it impossible for the judges to be explicitly explicit when they are making statements about status quo, such that we know where we belong and what lawyers are trying to do? We know who enjoys the opportunity of the status quo and who does not enjoy it.
Thank you very much. And what exactly does status quo means? Okay, let's take this one. After that, we'll move away to allow Justice Bakare to give his response. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Chienye.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Dr. Nkom. Good morning, sir. Happy birthday in advance, yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I like listening to people who talk with experience, not theory. And those people reach intellectual capacity, not just talking from textbook. This is what I did. This is what happened to me. those things enrich us. So I have some comments about the parliamentary system where my friend Alan mentioned, although that's not the body of the discussion.
Yes.
So I can summarize that from my own point of view that parliamentary system is for gentlemen. People who resign if they feel that I want to go this way, they say this way.
So it's presidential.
Yes, for gentlemen. Parliament is the presidential system is for jagudas of some sort, refined jagudas, where you can sit. Look at what is happening in America, sir. What Donald Trump is doing, appointing his son, appointing his brother, appointing his own cronies into. That is what parliamentary system is for jagudas. Although they have refined it. Yes. I think that we will still do well with this parliamentary system. We are not civilized enough. I don't want to use the word monkey because people will call me all sorts of names. We are too primitive to follow that type of system. That is number one, sir. Number two is that every Nigerian looks at law from his own primitive background. We don't look at the modern law we are using. It's not African law, sir. African law is that if you saw something, can't you say you stole it at the end of the story?
Yes.
You not say sorry, please.
Yes.
You can't you say you didn't steal it. That is the end. You didn't steal it. And it's so difficult for us to think in that direction. And that is the problem. One of the problems you have in the judicial system. And so that I don't exceed my band. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, we'll move away, like I said, from the phone temporarily. Just back, sir.
Well, thank you. I want to answer my son Kayode that corruption can be absolutely bad. It's not possible. It's not human. Then it comes with the creation of man. Jacob and Esau, was there no corruption? Who got the upper hand? Was the mother fair to Esau? And just, when you're talking of corruption, Cain and Abel, this is going to beginning of humanity. Therefore, and it's been discussed, I can't remember the name of the author now, absolutism. He wrote a lengthy thing on it. There's no absolutism in nature. There are times when you just have to bend. It is the breaking that is wrong. Bending is natural. You see, when you talk of nepotism, it starts from the name. If you had a good name, your children are likely to benefit from it. If you had a bad name, I remember a case in Ibadan, and Olubadan died, and for no just cause, because he was just bad, the customary cause, native court then simply imprisoned his son. So it does not become the Olubadan in future.
The Mogaji.
You cannot start at the Mogaji again once he's been imprisoned. You can see this is the way life is. Anything you do, the record is there for human beings to see. Sometimes the good people don't see it, the bad people don't want to see it, no matter how you are. Therefore, there's no absolutism in nature. It's not just practicable. Corruption stems from the home. Two children of the same parents, you prefer one to the other. That's the way God has done his things. For no reason, you meet two people and you prefer one to the other. I remember when I was sitting in altar, two lawyers came before me. I remember one of them, Joseph. He was in one chambers in Apekuta Street. Well dressed, well spoken, highly composed. He will carry you away with himself any day. If his case is bad, it's bad. But his case is good, it's good. But at least you have some love for him. It happens in nature. And I think this cannot be ruled out. The reason what attracts you in a person cannot be, you cannot be told what you will appreciate in the person. So let us leave that issue. Absolutism is not practicable in nature. I will not agree with you. I will say it's absolute. Then power was speaking about issue of allowing the president to do his work. Unfortunately, we voted for the Buhari of 1983. His health has depreciated. If he had a good health, you can depend on him. Today, if you are not well, there's very little you can do. And I'm sure that is affecting the whole country. Buhari is not to blame. The system is not to blame. It is the circumstance. And we have to accept it. God wants us to pass through that system and learn a lesson. That's the way I see it. I just feel sorry anytime I talk about Buhari's position. I know that he's not in control at the moment. And we could have wished that it was the Buhari we waited for that is there. The cabal is there. People want to benefit. But it's not like that. He does not care. And your own will come if you are honest. So I want to leave that issue as it is. Well, everybody wants to know about what they call status quo and the way judges see it. And I think it's because it's not completed by that people are ignorant about it. Status quo ante. The position it was before ante. Before, if the position was 3, 4, 5 today, and you go on for the next 10 years, you now see go back to status quo ante as it was before. That's what they mean.
Let's try and pick some events to the status quo ante. Yes. The most recent national is the Dino Milaye, his people, and INEC.
Yes.
He approached the court granted status quo ante, like you said.
Yes.
Now, what should be the status quo ante? INEC has gone back to court for this same interpretation. Yes. Tell us exactly.
Until the matter is decided, it stays where it was. Until the final decision is taken, the matter stays where it was.
So that means
remember,
it
cannot be recovered.
So we can say the person who approached the court for a status quo ante is the winner.
Yes.
Because his idea, his aim is to stall the process.
Yes, and that's what they say. Stay where you are for now.
So that means you cannot move forward.
You cannot move. No, you can move. They can go on with it, but they cannot remove him until.
And that's what we are saying, that the process you cannot move forward. For instance, myself and Chienye are fighting over a land.
Yes.
And then I've already. Yes, I'm on the land. Yes. I'm on the land.
Yes.
Drop sand.
Yes.
The foundation is there, and she goes to court, and the court says status quo.
Yes.
So that means I cannot put more blocks.
The law says possession is 9/10 of ownership. Possession is 9/10 of ownership. So the other man is only fighting for 1/10. You are there already in person. You can continue to do anything, but you cannot improve the place. You should not do more. You cannot put sand. You cannot
put other blocks on
as
the wall.
it is.
So that means it's the winner, because that's the aim, to ensure that I do not do anything.
To stop you for now.
All right, I understand. Okay. Kong and the presidential.
No, he was talking about parliamentary and presidential system. I am man of the old school, and as I said, parliamentary system started in Lagos with their election in 1923. We've been in it, and when they brought this presidential system, I thought we were just copying the Americans, who had had their own problem over the years since the 17th century, and we jumped into it. We were nurtured under the parliamentary system in this country over the years. Why did we go to presidential, where it's going to be operated by primitive people, as I always say, people who don't know their left from their right. Every Nigerian has a lot of problem, domestic, classmate, legal, everything, consider other things, serious matters come into us, because we cannot stand by ourselves. Where do you come and disturb my house? Let me take my own decision. That's why I say that no system is really bad, but I prefer the parliamentary system because more people are involved.
Okay, let's take your messages.
Okay. Let's be sincere. Okay, that's from Ade. Then we move to the next message from Oloyede Ismail. The bitter truth is that justice in Nigeria has a dual nature. Justice to the rich on one hand and justice to the poor on the other hand. Justice to the powerful on one hand and justice to the vulnerable on the other hand. It is true that law and morality are different in nature, but there are areas where the two fundamentally converge and cannot be separated. That is why the doctrine of equity was introduced as a moral remedy to clear the law of its complexities, the technicalities and excesses. However, Nigeria is a country where justice is most of the time sold to the highest bidder. Okay, that's from Oloyede Ismail.
You want to say something on that?
It's unfortunate when you say that justice is sold. I've said it here that a judge can make a genuine mistake. I'm not just defending the judiciary absolutely. I'm not saying there are no corrupt judges, but it's not as wide as people put it. There are times when innocent mistakes are considered to be corruption.
Innocent when a council brings money for the burial or for the treatment of the judge's mother.
No, that's not what I mean by innocent. You can make a mistake innocent from the fact before you. You can misunderstand the fact before you. It is possible. Because you've not stopped being a human being, you read it 10 times over, you find the same mistake is there, and you still repeat it. And it is very far in between. But I'm saying that not every bad judgment emanates from a corruption. That's the point I'm making.
Okay, we move to the next one from Otumba Adebo. Anti-corruption war of APC is selective and it's mainly against the PDP chieftains. Any APC's former governor, minister, or chieftain in EFCC's den, APC's aim is to wipe out PDP and be the only main party. Okay, then, sir, how do you see the issue of religion being put into the appointment of judges in Ogun State? Olusegun, exactly, that's what you tweeted. Ben Akorede Camille, the issue of corruption in the Nigerian judiciary has continued to echo and re-echo. Sir, how can this be reduced? Oduwole Babatunde, sir, what's your take on the 2 years imprisonment to someone who is convicted to be corrupt and then death sentence given to someone that steals? Yemi Da Vinci, good day, Baba Bakare, and happy birthday to you in arrears, sir. May you live many more years in good health and sound mind. That's from Yemi Da Vinci. Then we have Omoba Adeyemi. 1. What can you say is the solution to those who await trial and are being kept in the prison for years? Then 2. To police custody as well, sir. Okay, those are questions from Omade. Then Akorede Camille, what about contradicting court injunctions? Interpretation of the law by these judges is seen as being favorable. Yemi Da Vinci, I agree with the submissions that parliamentary system because only certain people have the equity or acumen for political office. Then Yemi Da Vinci still, people should not be in sensitive posts if not directly voted for by the people. Thus, they are more responsible to the people. Then we have billionaire Ajishafe. Lawyers are learned men when they are called to bar. They become corrupt when they become SAN. That's according to billionaire Ajishafe. Then Yemi Da Vinci, Justice Bakare, sir, what course of action will you advise we take in Nigeria to bring about parliamentary system? Then we have Abdurrahman Olayode. My name is Rahman from Ishaba. My greetings to our able Justice Bakare. To me, presidential system in Nigeria is a fraud to the Nigerian populace. Oduwole Babatunde, sir, can't a time frame be given to the dispensation of justice? Sir, what is your opinion about the alleged mistreatment that is meted out to young lawyers in terms of remuneration? That's a question from Yemi Da Vinci. Then Oduwole Babatunde, can't we have a Department of Justice that is saddled with the responsibility of solely prosecuting and not lawyers prosecuting and defending at the same time? Then we have Ogundari Sunday, Justice Bakare, sir. What do you think of the ruling of court on Senator Saraki's corruption case? That's a question from Ogundari Sunday. Baba, as a learned person, do you think legislators have the power to stop recalling process as is being initiated against Milai? That's also a question by Ogundari Sunday. Then Baba, do you as a person support the restructuring of the nation and the negotiation of one Nigeria? Then this last one is from Duro Waju. Is the court the last resort for the masses per se? I find it to believe when the elites are given light judgment at the expense of the poor.
Well, a whole lot of them. Obviously, he may not be able to handle. We just have about 12 minutes to 11. That means we have less than 12 minutes to do that. But let us pick out some of those issues, sir. Somebody talked about technicalities and technical judgment, which you have also mentioned. Should it really be permitted? Can it not be interpreted as affecting justice? Let me give you one example that I've been involved where technical judgment is given. you seem to applaud it. You gave the example of FRA Williams. Now, this was 2007. It was an election tribunal between the then ACN candidate, Pangyang, his name, and then the PDP candidate, Jonah Jang. Jonah Jang was said to have won the election, so it was Pangyang that was challenging its election. The law says you must file your petition, your litigation, within 30 days of the declaration of the result. The prosecutor, the litigant, filed his case. When it was calculated, it landed at 31 days.
Yes.
The one day on top of it was a Sunday.
Yes.
And then the judge ruled in favor of the defendant, that the man who filed the suit filed outside the time, which was a technical judgment. This kind of judgment, is it not pervasive?
Is it not?
Is it not wrong, this technical judgment, because obviously it was a technical ruling? Is it not? Yeah, you can lead not be.
I am sure that that's an issue that should go on appeal, because when you calculate days, the non-working days are exempted. If after all this have been deducted and since 31 days, obviously it's outside the law, and that will not be a proper judgment. I did not read this judgment. I cannot judge. But if it feels so concerned, the proper place to.
Let's assume that the law says that 30 days and
Yes.
they filed 31 days.
Yes.
Can it not be permitted? Is that still not technical judgment?
It's not technical.
We are not looking at the merit of
No,
the case.
forget about the merit. The law is part of the decision. You see, you have to be vigilant. You see, it's a caveat emptor. Buyers beware. You're going to court. You want to exercise your right. Then you must act within the law yourself, because what you are complaining about is illegality. So illegality, you are introducing illegality to cure illegality. That's why you must see it. If it's 30 days, 30 days. Not, oh, it's only 1 day over. No. They are in or out.
All right. The other one is somebody wants to know, find out how can we, if we all feel, majority feels it is parliamentary, that is better than, how can we get it done?
Well, I'm looking at a just society, because those, for example, for me, I will scrap the Senate any day. We don't need this bicameral. We don't need it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of
The
time.
individuals, unfortunately, can't do that.
Yes, individual cannot do it, and those are the people who can amend the law. So, except we have sincere people, and we don't have them in that place, and all we can do is for the radicals to organize against them and recall all of them from their parliamentary system. That's really, because these people are just impossible. And unfortunately, after 1966, we had many things. After 75, when Obasanjo and Mohammed came in, we tried to change this country. Unfortunately, the bad people still excel, and that's why Nigeria is called a bad country. You go to a person who is doing a particular job, is richer than he should be, nobody does anything about it. If I see a judge who did not have money before he became a judge, because some of these boys who went for private practice had buildings, they had a lot of money in practice, they could be better. But those of us who went through the ranks, state council or magistrate, to become a judge, you should not be rich. You can only be comfortable. When you see a person whose style of life is really rich, you must query it. And I think that's what they tried to do in the days of Shomodo inquiry. Come and defend yourself. Where did you get this money from? Some people could be lucky. While you're in private practice, you order for some things for sale in England. They came at the time of scarcity and you make money. Riches can come, but you have to prove it.
You have to be able to
prove it.
Okay, let's add more messages.
Yeah, quickly. This is from Abdurrashid Okinla from Abeokuta. Salam alaikum, sir. I listened carefully to you, but I'm not disappointed because we all know your antecedents. But, sir, how could we get more of your type in the judicial system of this country? Things are getting worse daily, and we can no longer trust the lawyers, let alone the judges. Where will common man without money get justice when our judges have turned themselves to central bank and then they're keeping millions of dollars at home. That is.
Once I heard that matter, I said, these people will get out. You see, if you handle a good case in a bad manner, they will get out. The law says, prove beyond all reasonable doubt. The man says, the money is not mine, you brought it. You came at night. How do doubt? There's doubt has been raised. It's not my money. You brought it yourself. Take your money away. So how would not the judge not get away? If they went to Ayodo's house at night, he can deny. So it's the system that was wrong. The approach was wrong. And I always tell people that in this country, we are looking at the law of evidence and procedure to try matters in court. In the system, there's no perfect system. Once you create a loophole, the person gets away. And as I was saying here, somebody was talking about Saki's trial or about an accused person that appears quite clearly to have committed an offense getting away. And I said initially that the doctrine of the law, that it is better for 99% of guilty people to get away than for 1% of innocent people to be punished. That's the doctrine of the law. As long as that remains, obviously, bad people will get away. Some innocent people will be punished. This is normal. It will happen. You see, I still don't like what happened to Esau in the Bible. If he went to get medicine from his father, and the other woman had prepared something for Jacob before the man came back, unfortunately Isaac ate it and prayed for him. What do we do? So this has been on since eternity.
Okay.
Messages?
Yes, okay, this is from Kayode Olumide, Justice Bakare, sir. We all know that justices or magistrates never compromise the standard of truth, honesty, and integrity in the court. But for otherwise, these issues of frivolous technicalities or striking out of cases are unbelievable and unbecoming. And so we see the hand of Jacob and Esau, and the voice, meaning bribery, which is bilateral. So those who looted funds otherwise make the presidency to get ill. Okay, that's from Kayode Olumide. The Nigerian Bar Association and the Nigerian bench over the years have become too conservative and reactionary, and these could be seen in the way and manner the bar and the bench met. Okay, how they met out punishments to their erring members vis-a-vis the reward and promotion. It's an open truth that progressive, fearless, and upright members of the bar and the bench are oftentimes denied of their due reward and promotion, while mediocres and charlatans are rewarded and promoted unduly. The cases of Chief Gani Faiboimi, the senior advocate of the masses, and Justice Ayo Salami are clear examples. Okay, that's from Oloyede Ismail. And then this one from Tunji Ajayi. Since the court holds steadfastly to the doctrine and the judicial precedents, and yet we all agree that judges are infallible, where lies the truth, sir? Tunji Ajayi is asking the question. Then we have this tweet from Oshumoyiwa Fatai. Greetings to Baba, Ojonya Dale Ami. Baba, I think judicial corruption is between the litigants, the lawyers and prosecutors, as well as the judges.
All right, and of course, that will be it. Take your time. We only have about 3 minutes, so we must begin to wrap it up. Justice Bakare, sir, your wrap up, your summary.
Well, my plea is that we should give the judges a chance. I don't believe in wholesale and outright condemnation. Everyone remains an individual. We can always arrange summits, workshops, and get them to see the way society is looking at them. Maybe things will improve. But I know that I can't speak for myself alone. I speak for a lot of other people. Things are not as bad as people paint it. The point is that the society itself is dirty, is corrupt, is ineptitude. And that's why we're having all these problems. If you have a bad case or you have a good case, leave the judge alone. Let them get the decision.
All right, yes, we've been told nepotism is ancient, as old as generation itself. Your good name will definitely give you favor. So let's ensure to have that good name so that we can have what we call natural favors coming our way. I thank our guest this morning, Elder Statesman, retired judge, Justice Ademola Bakare, OON. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
For sparing your time, and of course to everybody out there who've listened patiently, who've contributed to the different platforms. I say again, thank you. Dele Ayodo is my name. God bless you all. God bless Nigeria. God bless Rock City.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Let's continue to do the right thing always. Good morning.